Stefan Hansen, world champion. And he does. Sebastian Peno puts it away.
De Medellín, cuenta con vos.
Archery. Power and precision, passion and perseverance, dedication and devotion, intensity and integrity. Archery, the ultimate sporting challenge.
After starting the season in Shanghai, the 2016 Hyundai World Cup Tour now shifts to South America for Stage 2. Colombia has become a hotbed for world archery, with a warm welcome in Medellin's comfortable climate, just above the equator. Seldom seen nations, Cuba, Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, and El Salvador all came to Colombia, giving this tour stop a true Latin American flavor. Wherever you happen to be watching, hola, ni hao, bonjour, merhaba, konnichiwa, annyeonghaseyo, privyet, shalom, guten tag, dzień dobry, buongiorno, bon dia, good day, mates, and welcome to the second of just 3 stops on Hyundai's 2016 Outdoor World Cup Tour, stretching from spring through summer and into the fall, with the World Cup finals in Denmark come September. Along with my friend Bernardo Oliveira from Brazil, I'm Carl Arkey, and we thank you for joining us on Archery TV for Recurve Sunday in the land of eternal spring. This year in Medellin, a new venue. We're on the grounds of the Museum of Modern Art in the heart of Medellin, where all the archers in the medal matches will try to create their own masterpieces today. Bernardo, good to see you again, my friend.
Everybody here with us in the broadcast by Archery TV.
Around the world, buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenos dias. It could be morning, could be afternoon, could be nighttime, but it is morning here. We've got comfortable temperatures. You see at 24 degrees centigrade. very mild, few clouds in the sky, and the best thing about it all, I don't see any wind.
Yes, definitely. It's a lovely day. Hopefully we'll be seeing some very high scores, a lot of arrows in the yellow and hopefully in the X ring.
We'll start off with the team competition this morning for the men and for the women. Explain to the audience how we keep score.
Well, very recently the set system was introduced in the teams matches as well. It works very similar to the individual set system scoring, but on the teams eliminations, we've got a 5-point victory. So whoever reaches 5 points first takes the win. If we reach a 4-4 tie, then we go for a shoot-off, and just reminding that each team will shoot 6 arrows, each archer will shoot 2 arrows, and they can be at the line only once at a time. And then after a 6-arrow shot by each team, whoever scores highest will take 2 points. If there's a tie, each team takes 1 point, and whoever reaches 5 wins.
And of course, we've moved the targets back 20 meters from yesterday with the compound competition, now shooting at a target face that is 70 meters away, and that 10 ring looks even smaller.
Yeah, it can be tricky, but these guys, they have trained a lot for this, and I'm sure we're going to see some very high-level shooting here today.
And it starts off with the women's team bronze medal match. Should be very interesting, as Mexico, which came out of qualifying ranked 4th, takes to the field. Mexico coming off of wins over Cuba 5-1, Italy 5-1 before losing to Korea 5-3. No shame there. Let's meet the trio of archers from Mexico who will be competing in the women's bronze medal match this morning. And it is an experienced squad for the most part. Gabriela Vallardo on the left, 22 years of age. She's the youngster, ranked 82nd in the world. Aido Roman, 27 years old, of course 11th in the world, and Alejandra Valencia, 21st, or rather I should say 21 years old and 18th in the world. So, very, very experienced team with Valencia and Roman, and they'll be taking on a very young team from the United States. Big smiles on their faces as Team USA takes to the field. This young squad defeated India this week 5-4. That went to a shoot-off. Bernardo was mentioning that a moment ago. If it's tied at 4, it goes to the shoot-off, and then he was won in a shoot-off. 25-25 was the score in the shoot-off, and the USA won it. Then they defeated Chinese Taipei, which was a monumental upset, knocked them off 6-2, and then dropped the decision to China 5-1. Erin Mickelberry, Lauren Clayman, and Anna Missioni are ranging in age from 18 to 30. Erin Mickelberry, the veteran, at the age of 30. Lauren Clayman, 19 years of age, and Missioni is 18 years old, but none of them is ranked any higher than 145th in the world, Bernardo.
Yes, Carl. The American team has it has missing some names that we're used to seeing, like Katuna Lorig, Mackenzie Brown, Lenora Pritchard, or Ariel Gebelaro, but still this team managed to reach a bronze medal final, which I think is a great run, and they upset Chinese Taipei, and Chinese Taipei were the champions here in Medellin last year, so definitely that's a great feat, and I think they will be up the match against Mexico.
2 weeks ago in China at stage 1, it was Russia trouncing Germany 5-1 in the bronze medal match. Let's see how close this match will be today as Mexico starts off with an 8. Alejandra Valencia leading off, Vallardo shooting second, and Aido Roman shooting third. So into the gold rings for the first time today. And now Aido Roman, the silver medalist at the 2012 Olympic Games in London, finishing second to Kibo Bay.
Would have been nice if Ida had aimed off a little bit, since she saw that both Alejandra and Vallardo started a little bit high. But I think now they just have to move their sight.
Erin Mickelberry for the United States. Starts off a little bit right as well. Terrific shot. First 10 of the day.
There we have it.
And Missioni, who finished in a tie for 33rd in Medellin a year ago in individual competition. And now a good look at Lauren Clayman at her first World Cup event ever. Her first shot veers off into the red ring.
Both teams had some arrows high, so that's a side change that other teams should keep an eye on.
Valencia draws it back deliberately. And after an 8, she improves with a 9. You could see Gabriela Bayardo exhale right there. You've got to get relaxed. You've got to learn to breathe when you're on the line, right?
You do, and especially these first shots, they're pretty hard because your heart is beating faster and you're a little bit nervous, but it all goes away after these first couple of arrows.
Roman strikes pay dirt. So a strong opening set for Team Mexico. They established the benchmark for Team USA as Erin Mickelberry lines up her second shot. That's a 9. Or excuse me, a 10. That's a confidence builder.
It is. Erin Mickelberry, I find it very interesting that she has kind of a simple shot, but very firm, very strong. I like it.
Missioni had a 10 on her first attempt, and again,
that's
you
an
see
exhale. Did
the
you see that exhale?
Yes. Trying to get those nerves under control. Stay calm, stay steady. Easier said than done. Lauren lets that missile fly, and now she's feeling the blues.
Yes, I bet she was very nervous. She took the time to try to relax, but when you're there at the shooting line, time just flies. Hopefully they will be more relaxed for the next set.
So that first set goes to Mexico, and still able to smile about it, which you have to be able to do right now. Hopefully they've gotten those jitters worked out. But again, that's where the experience of Mexico plays to their advantage.
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting to notice that Mexico is missing Carla Hinojosa. She was in the Mexican team when they got the team quota at Copenhagen last year. But today, instead of her, we have Gabriela Bayardo. And I think there's some good competition going on in their team to see who will eventually go to Rio.
This is a very, very important day for a lot of recurve archers. Of course, the third stage coming up in Antalya will be critical, absolutely crucial for anybody who has not nailed down a spot for Rio.
Indeed, that's the case of the American team. They don't have a full team quota yet, and I've heard that that might be a reason why Katuna and Mackenzie and the other famous names of the American team are not here, because they're preparing to get to Antalya on their best form to get that quota.
54-51 in favor of Mexico in that opening set. So the 2 set points do go to Mexico, and they immediately jump out to a lead. But remember, this is a USA team that was able to defeat Chinese Taipei, which is no small feat. We saw how good Chinese Taipei is when they performed so well in China at stage 1.
Yeah, and I found it pretty fun to notice that this is the exact same rematch of the bronze medal final last year here in Medellin. United States against Mexico, and that time United States won.
With some different faces.
Yeah, that's right. But let's see what happens here.
One of the keys for the success for the United States this week has been just the thought of going out and having fun, taking the pressure off, taking the stress off, just going out and shooting the way they know how to shoot.
Definitely, definitely. If you have fun, you're going to shoot more relaxed and you're going to shoot better.
Of course, this is a different setting. Bright lights, the cameras, the crowd, all trained right now on Erin Mickelberry. And she drifts off into the 8 ring.
Her release seemed a little bit tense. As soon as the arrow started flying, I think she already knew the shot wasn't very good.
Now Anna Missioni. Averaging 8.4 points per arrow. Gets the 9 ring. Now Lauren Clayman. A little bit high once again.
A little bit high. Maybe she can move her sight more.
So 2 8s and a 9. Mexico trying to come up with a better hand. They start off strong with Alejandra Valencia delivering a solid shot.
And still a little bit to the left.
Interesting thing about Alejandra, she's never medaled here in Medellin. Obviously with a great chance here today.
With the help of Bayardo.
Who drills a 10. Bayardo picked up a team silver medal in Wrocław 2 years ago in 2014. And now the much decorated Aida Roman, who also has never medaled here in Medellin, strangely enough.
They're going for it. I think for now they're definitely going for it. They seem more relaxed and stronger than the United States right now, but this is set system. Anything can change at any time.
Mickelberry trying to change the fortunes of the USA.
That's what I said.
Two more 10s and there'd be a lot of pressure on Mexico. In the second set. Back to back. Anna Missioni, who's got 4 match wins on her resume coming into this bronze medal match in Medellin. And a 7 for Lauren Clayman. So
things are still a little bit comfortable for Mexico.
Mexico's still in a good spot right now.
Yes, but this is Recurve. I think Recurve has way more room for aero than compound, which we saw yesterday.
Alejandra delivers a 9. 8 World Cup medals overall for Alejandra Valencia. Bayardo bangs another one home.
That smile tells it all.
And if there's one thing I've noticed about Aida Roman over the last 2-3 years is how much stronger she's gotten mentally. And the mental approach she takes to all of this, and it pays off right there as she strikes gold. And Mexico takes the set and moves out to a 4-point advantage in the match right now, leading 4-0 after the opening 2 sets. And so right now the USA backed into a corner.
Yeah, that 57 by Mexico does give them a boost in confidence. They look very relaxed, and I think they just have to keep on doing what they did in the previous 2 sets. Maybe what the Americans, maybe they're too tense, trying too much to find the 10. That's something that we often do as archers. We're going for the 10 too much, but that can be something tricky. Sometimes all you got to do is just relax and seek the yellow. Just hit the yellow, and eventually the 10s will come. You don't have to go for it too much. This might be affecting the Americans.
Good crowd in the stands here on a Sunday morning in Medellin on Recurve Sunday. First match of the day, the women's bronze medal match. USA trailing Mexico 4-0, heading to the 3rd set. Along with Bernardo from Brazil, I am Carl Arke. We hope you're enjoying our live shot-by-shot coverage here in beautiful Medellin, Colombia. High in the Andes Mountains, we're in the Aruba Valley, the verdant Aruba Valley. And shooting on the grounds, the Museum of Modern Art, at a target 70 meters away. Erin Mickelberry
Oh,
opens
just out.
up Did she catch the line?
Maybe not. I'd say it's a 7, unfortunately. Oh.
And right now the USA headed downhill.
That's going to be tough to recover.
Trying to stay strong. But another shot in the red ring. So not what Team USA had hoped for, to try to start and mount a comeback. Because as you said, in the set system, it is possible.
Anything can happen. We've seen teams leading 4-0 and then losing in the shoot-off. So it is possible. It only ends when the last arrow hits the target.
Mexico, so experienced right now, so steady. Won the first set 54-51, the second set 57-52. And now with a pair of 9s, they've set the table for Aida Roman, who can give Mexico a very healthy lead here in this third set.
We're talking about the silver medalist in London anyway.
And she gave Kibo Bay a run for the money in London back in 2012.
She did. That was very exciting. And a 9-liner.
May have caught that line. We call that fool's gold in the United States. I'm not sure if it's really gold or not. We'll have to find out. The judges will have to decide, although it may be academic with the USA right now spraying it all over the target. And it's a shame because they've had such a great, strong week. They really have.
They did.
But it is such a different environment. And if you haven't been up here before, it's the first match of the day.
There you go.
There, a strong shot. Ana Missione can feel good about that, if that is indeed her last shot here in Medellin this week. And Lauren Clayman trying to do the same thing. Just 19 years of age, averaging 8.6 points per arrow at her first World Cup event. And she should feel good about that.
Finished it well in the gold ring. We're talking about a completely different environment. Every elimination match is very tense, makes everyone nervous, but with all the cameras and with all the people watching, it really makes your heart race like you've never seen before.
Well, in qualifying and eliminations, you almost sink into the crowd. You're just part of a big, big crowd, and everybody's doing their thing. And nobody's really paying that much attention to anybody else.
Yeah, you're just another archer in the crowd, but here all the eyes are upon you.
Like being on that first tee when you're going to play golf, which I've always hated. So 9 and 8, and now Aida Roman to put the finishing touches on a victory for Mexico.
Just bring it home.
The silver medalist from London seals the deal, and she does it with a 10. Style and flair, Mexico. A straight set winner, winning the bronze medal here at stage 2 in Medellin, Colombia on the 2016 Hyundai Archery World Cup Tour. It was precise, it was strategic, it was almost surgical. Mexico showing their experience, and with veteran leadership from Alejandra Valencia and Aida Roman, they are able to dispatch the USA in straight sets, winning it 6-0. So it holds to 4. Mexico qualified 4th, the USA qualified 10th. It would have been a major upset, I think, if the USA had been able to knock off Mexico. But great learning experience for these 3 young ladies.
Yes, definitely. Lauren Clayman, her international experience is almost limited to 2 World Archery Youth Championships, and that's a very different environment. Now we're here on the senior competition, where you see like all the stars of the sport shooting here, and well, that's a great learning, I'm sure, and I bet they will keep this in their minds for the preparation for the next stages of the World Cup and maybe World Championship, who knows.
When you made that step up, Bernardo, how was that for you? How intimidating was that, and how awestruck were you by looking around and seeing all the other great archers, the Brady Ellisons of the world, so to speak?
Well, I gotta say it was pretty hard to describe. A lot of times I was more focused on watching other people than on my shooting because you really want to, grasp a little bit of the technique, of the equipment they're using.
See what you can learn from them.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a whole different thing when you're watching them through a video, like people are watching from their homes the finals now, and it's a whole different thing when you're like stepping at the same field, when you're just a few meters away from those people and watching them do it. Especially when you're, for example, shooting the qualifications in the same target, and then you see people shooting like real high scores, and even if it's windy or rainy, and then you see them do it, and then you start thinking like, hey, I should be able to do it too.
I belong.
Yeah, it's a very nice experience. You just have to keep focused on your shooting. There's a right time to be focused on that.
You just have to get to that point where you believe in yourself and you know that you belong. Well, I think everybody is going to step to the line of this next match, knows that they deserve to be here. They're good enough, they're smart enough, they're strong enough, and they shoot well enough. Both of these teams, excellent teams, coming out onto the field to play for the women's team gold medal match. We're getting excited about this one because we get to see Korea, and we get to see the best shooters from Korea. 3 Olympians on the line today here in Colombia. Korea got here by knocking off Colombia 6-0 and Mexico 5-3, and they did it with Chae Sun, Chung Hee-jin, and Ki Bo Bae, the Olympic gold medalist from 2012 in London. So Ki Bo Bae, Chung Hee-jin, and Chae Sun on the line for Korea, and they'll get some strong, stiff competition for the team from China. China came out of qualifying ranked 3rd after defeating Canada 6-0, beating Japan 5-4 in a shoot-off that went to China by the score of 24-23, and then it was a 5-1 win over the United States. So let's meet the trio from China: Wu Jiaxin, Chi Yu-wong, and Cao Wei, shooting today for China. Chi Yu-wong, 26 years old, Cao Wei, 24 years of age, and Wu Jiaxin is 19 years old. Jiaxin ranked 27th in the world, Chi Yu-wong 11th in the world, and Cao Wei 61st. Meanwhile, as you look at Korea and their rankings, Chae Sun is number 1, Ki Bo Bae is number 2, and Chung Hee-jin is number 8 in the world. Talk about a lineup.
That's a good lineup, isn't it? And we are seeing here right now the Olympic team of Korea. It's been decided already that this is their Olympic squad that will be in Rio. And I bet China is also hitting hard in their preparation because we have all the 3 Chinese women ranking very well in the qualification round here in Medellin. And after all, this is a rematch of the last 3 Olympic finals. So I'm excited to watch it.
And as we go along, Bernardo, I want you to talk about the Koreans and their technique. Obviously, Korea setting the standard for the rest of the world, the gold standard, so to speak, for the rest of the world in recurve archery.
They do indeed.
And surprisingly, Korea opens up with an 8.
She's moved her sight already, maybe given some feedback to Choi Mi-sun.
So 2 8s.
Yeah, maybe that was too much.
So Chae Mi-sun with an 8, following up the 8 by Chung Hee-jin. And now Ki Bo Bae, averaging 9.3 points per arrow, puts it in the 9 ring. And on occasion, we have seen Korea get off to shaky starts, but that doesn't seem to last for very long.
It doesn't. We say that the Koreans, they give you only one opportunity, and you'd better use it if you want to challenge them.
China with a stronger start, almost into the 10 ring. Wu Jiaxin, a nice effort to get it started for China. Almost in the exact same spot. Cao Wei, 24 years of age, a team silver medalist in Medellin back in 2014. Now Chi Yuhong. And great grouping by China.
Except for Chang Hei-jin, everyone started high to the left as well, just like Mexico did in the previous match.
So back to Korea and Chung Hee-jin, the 29-year-old who strikes gold. Just outside.
Just outside, yes. Something really nice to observe in their technique. The three Korean archers, they do something which is very, very Korean, very typical of their technique, which is stopping a little bit while drawing.
Almost got it inside that 10 ring.
And just outside, yeah. That stopping in the drawing is what we call.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, that's what we call the setup. Like you raise your bow arm and then you put it in place. You make sure everything is in place so that when you start drawing, you don't have to worry about your bow arm anymore.
First shot outside the gold rings for China. In what is a very competitive opening set. If you're just joining us, the bronze medal has already been decided. It's gone to Mexico. Now it's China and Korea battling for the gold medal here in Colombia. Right on the line, the 9-liner, that'll count as 9.
I think she was lucky. She wasn't very happy about that shot, but still it wasn't gold.
A 9 will give the set to China. Instead, it is a 7, and the set will go to Korea. And it goes back to what you were saying just moments ago. Korea will give you an opportunity, maybe. And if they do, you had best take advantage.
Yeah, you'd better use it. It's very rare to see them giving you 2 opportunities. But, well, China, they're doing it's very nice to see that the teams, they do a lot of talking while the arrows are being scored and being retrieved from the target. And this feedback the archers give to each other, and also the feedback from the coaches, it's very important. And I think it can be a game changer sometimes, especially regarding wind or just a little flaw in technique. And, well, it's just set 1. I think there's a lot of fun to see yet.
You seldom see Korea shoot a 52, and when they do, I would imagine if you had told China that Korea's going to shoot a 52 in the opening set, they would have been very happy about that and thought, we've got a great chance to take that set.
Yes, however, they shot a 51.
Alas, it was a 7 on that final and 6th shot of the first set for China, then handed the set points to Korea. So Korea leads it 2-0 here in the gold medal match. Stage 2 of the 2016 Hyundai Archery World Cup Tour. Along with Bernardo from Brazil, I'm Carl Arke, and we hope you're enjoying our live coverage here from the grounds of the Museum of Modern Art. Our thanks to Hyundai, proud sponsor of World Archery. New thinking, new possibilities. And right now, China looking for a new opportunity here in the second set, but opening with an 8.
Still spread the group.
It's interesting because China started off so strong with 3 straight 9s. Since then, it's been 8, 9, 7, and 8. But back in the gold ring. So that has to be encouraging for China. A 10 right here would loom large. Instead, it's an 8. So 25 points posted.
Korea has a great chance to get a 4-0 lead already.
Chung Hee-jin, team bronze medal 2 years ago here in Medellin. She starts off with an 8. The wind starting to pick up a little bit. Not a major factor you wouldn't think. Now a good look at Che Mi-sun. Che Mi-sun also with an 8.
Yeah, the wind's picking up. I think she aimed too much off the gold.
This is when you rely on your Olympic gold medalist. Kibo Bay lines it up, lets it fly. There it is.
And she does it.
Found the sweet spot.
I believe that's why Kibo Bay shoots last, because she is probably the most experienced archer they've got in the team. So it's good to have such an archer to decide when it's needed.
When you absolutely, positively have to have the shot, you look to Kibo Bay. That's an 8. Wu Xiajin picked up a team bronze medal last year in Antalya. Won a mixed team silver medal here in Medellin last year. Makes her home in Beijing. Now Cao Wei. Way outside. And it brings up Shi Yuhong. Who had 3 team medals in 2015, 2 bronze and 1 silver, also finished 9th in individual competition in Shanghai.
Interesting to notice in Zhang Hejin is that she doesn't put the string at the tip of her nose. She puts it a little bit to the side. That's quite an unusual feature.
Seems to work.
It does,
Did on that shot.
She just showed us.
So Korea tried to take advantage of 4 straight 8s by the People's Republic of China, and now Korea seems to have it dialed in.
Oh, China opened up their group, and this just makes Korea relax, and that's the last thing you want them to do, to relax.
Key connects. 3 straight 10s, 4 straight 10s actually, and they take the set with ease. 56-49, pick up 2 more set points, and may well be on their way to a sweep as well.
Yes, the Chinese, they Fu Jiaqin, when she left the line, she looked helpless because she's pretty much lost in the wind. And I know that feeling, and it's very awkward because it's not only the wind, it's also the pressure you make on your bow arm, or maybe the release. So if you start losing the confidence on where your arrows are hitting, you might as well lose the confidence in your own technique. So it's not just a matter of knowing where to aim, it's also a matter of knowing how your shot is working on the wind. And it's a very difficult situation. China.
When doubt starts to creep in and there's second guessing, you're in a little bit of trouble, aren't you?
Yes, definitely. And China, they will have to excel to score 2 set points and to stay alive in this match.
Well, that's what they have to be focusing on right now. Not about winning the match. They just have to worry about winning this set.
This set to stay alive.
Just this set. Take care of business with these next 6 arrows. So 6 arrows to go. 6 very important arrows for China as they try to stay alive in this match against Korea, the gold medal match for the women.
What a quick draw she has.
Fairly quick release, but it paid off.
That's what China needs. They desperately need 10s right now.
Trying to put some pressure on Korea. And they're dialing the pressure up. 10, now a 9.
Oh.
And that takes some of the wind out of the sail for China. After a strong start with the 10 and the 9, now a 7.
I think the wind has stopped a little bit. That's why she shot way to the left. That's awkward.
Kills the spider right down the middle. X marks the spot for Zhang Hejin.
Korea's not leaving it easy.
Zhang Hejin, a gold medalist in Antalya in 2014. Now a good look at Jae-mi-sun, who won the individual gold medal at the World Cup Finals in Mexico City a year ago. And here is Kibo Bae, who will defend her Olympic title in Rio. She was a double gold medalist in London. And Korea can afford to have one go a little bit astray at this point. They still lead by 1 in the set. What could be the final set.
Well, they have the advantage of the tie. If they tie in this set, Korea still takes the gold.
Only 5 points needed to win. Strong, strong effort. You can see the resolve by China. Wu Jiajin.
Wu Jiajin did definitely find her shot, and hopefully this gives confidence to her teammates.
Wu Jiajin has defeated Kibo Bae and Tan Yating in individual match play. So you know how strong she is.
Yes, she's shooting for gold later on today.
We will see her later on. Some great medal matches coming up this afternoon here in Medellin, Colombia, stage 2. So a couple of 10s and 9, but then a pair of 8s and a 7. Not the hand that China was trying to deal to Korea.
Korea just needs a 25 to win. That's a piece of cake for them.
A 9 delivered by Chung Hee-jin. Looking for her 11th World Cup medal. Now Jae-mi-sun, ranked number 1 in the world, 19 years of age, and showing the great form that got her that high ranking. Kibo Bae going for the kill shot. Needs 6 to win it. And gets a 10. Kibo Bae coming through in the clutch, putting it away, and Korea in command from start to finish, and they win it in a clean sweep as well, defeating China by the count of 6-0, winning that set 56-52. So after that first set, which Korea won by 1 point, 52-51, it was all Korea from that point on, Bernardo.
Yeah, Kibo Bae's last shot was great. The coach, he was happy about it even before the arrow hit the target. And, well, that's what happened. China gave him the space to relax, to feel comfortable, to feel confident, and that's the last thing you can do to Korea. So they just cruised to the victory, and, well deserved.
Korea started off a little shaky, and we mentioned it at the start of the match. If you get that opportunity, you had best take advantage of it. And China not able to capitalize that time. And gracias. We have such great hospitality here in Medellin.
It's amazing.
The food keeps coming, the drinks keep coming, coffee keeps coming, and the archery keeps coming.
Never stops. It's just perfect morning for us.
Along with Bernardo from Brazil, I'm Carl Arke. Hope you're enjoying this sun-splashed Sunday morning here in Medellin, Colombia. Mild temperatures. Of course, I can say that. We're in the shade out of the sunshine, but Brady Ellison in the grandstands. He'll be out there in that sunshine later on this afternoon. He'll be center stage in the men's gold medal match, taking on Miguel Alvarino in what should be a great matchup.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that. We've got a 3-time World Cup final champion against the most recent World Cup final champion, Miguel from Spain. And they've been in great form. Brady has been shooting amazing scores in qualification. And Miguel, he made his way up to the final, defeating Kim Woo-jin. It's good that we're finishing the competition with such a match.
So that'll be coming up a little bit later on this afternoon here on Archery TV. We hope you'll join us for that and stay with us throughout the day. We've got our cameras trained on the grandstands and on the shooting line and on that target face 70 meters away. The women's matches in the books, and the gold medal goes to Korea, the silver to China, and Mexico collects the silver medal here in Medellin. All right, we move on now, and it's the guys taking center stage for the men's team bronze medal match. Should be an interesting matchup.
Definitely.
As Canada a bit of a surprise. Came out of qualifying number 12, but got through the qualifying rounds. And they defeated China 5-4 in a shoot-off, 28-25 in the shoot-off. Knocked off France 6-2 and then lost to Korea 6-2. But the surprise on the men's team competition, definitely Team Canada. Crispin Duenas, who will be Mike's side this afternoon, out there on the shooting line. Crispin being joined by his teammate Hamilton Nguyen and Brandon Schwereb from Toronto, the third archer for Team Canada. So Canada with its hands full with the team from Spain. Spain qualifying 6th this week with wins over Chile 5-1. They blanked Japan 6-0, then lost to Mexico 6-2. But we were mentioning Miguel Alvarino a moment ago. He's in this lineup with this team.
And leading the lineup, definitely.
Miguel Alvarino, the 21-year-old, ranked 8th in the world and the winner of the World Cup gold medal last year in Mexico City. On your left. And his partners in crime today, Juan Rodriguez and Miguel Angel Bifare, who also is known by the name Mickey, which I kind of prefer.
That's better to speak in English.
Yes. From this point forward, he will be known as Mickey.
Mickey. Oh, now, Carl, what really caught my attention in this is that Spain, in the 10 sets they shot prior to this match, they had only one below 55 points. And that's just an outstanding average. Like in competition, shooting elimination matches against top teams, that is an awesome average. And I find it pretty upsetting that they're shooting for bronze. Oh, what was that? Oh, Miguel just made a small mistake, because usually 2 whistles calls you to the line in individual, but not in team matches. But everything's fine now.
There was a little bit of confusion with that yesterday in compound as well. There were a few yellow cards, but
Adds up to the emotion.
so Miguel Alvarino gets the party started with a 9. That is remarkable, averaging 55 points per set.
It's amazing. But they faced Mexico, and they were also in great form, and now they're shooting for bronze. I'm sure they'll definitely go for it.
And we'll see Mexico momentarily in the gold medal match. Pair of 9s for Spain. Now the Spaniards trying to break through and get their first 10 of the day. Not to be outside in the 8 ring after Mickey's 9. There's an 8 for Rodriguez.
And there we have a left-hander.
Have a couple of left-handers. Crispin Duenas is also shooting from the left side.
Oh, he's right-hander, I think.
No, you're right, he is.
Yes, he is right-hander.
Brandon, take that second. You've got lots of time.
Hamilton Nguyen. Both high.
Oh, it seemed to me that
Out of
he
the
didn't
7
really
ring.
finish the shot. He was too eager to leave the line.
Crispin Duenas bringing it closer to the middle. But immediately, Canada falling 4 points behind Spain midway through the opening set. The deficit that can be made up if Spain gives them the opportunity, and Miguel Alvarino doesn't seem inclined to do so.
Not at all.
Miguel Angel Perfari. A 9 on his first shot and a 9 on his second shot. So very, very consistent shooting right now for Spain. Right out of the gates. Getting a fast start.
In this take, we could see the way he draws. He puts his bow arm a little bit offside, and then he brings it in.
And you could tell as soon as he released, he wasn't thrilled with the shot. It's a 7.
He wasn't very happy. I think the wind is moving the bow arm a little bit, and that it's hard to cope with that when you're aiming.
It seemed to pick up just as he was about to release. So Brandon Schwereb out of Toronto, only 20 years of age. Hamilton Nguyen, only 24 years old. Shot at Shanghai and Medellin last year. No medals, at least not yet.
But he was in the Canadian team who was silver medalist at the test event in Rio. That was a very nice result for them.
So the captain, Crispin Duenas, trying to improve on the 8 on his first shot, and does so. A respectable score for Canada, but 3 points short of Spain, and the Spaniards take the first set and take the lead 2-0. And so far today, the teams that have jumped out and taken the lead have gone on to win.
Yeah, Spain started pretty confident in the yellow already, while Canada, they were still finding themselves, still, getting to know where they were standing. I think the second set will be a tighter match.
Well, a year ago,
and worthy of saying that Canada, even though they ranked 12th, they showed on their way to this match that they can shoot some really high sets. Like they shot a 60 against China. I think it was the only 60 in the competition. So I don't know, they might just come up with a 59, 58, or maybe a 60 to challenge Spain.
perhaps they can find that magic once again here. Still early in the match and only down 2-0. I was going to say a year ago, I meant 2 weeks ago in Shanghai, it was India blanking Great Britain 6-0 in the men's team bronze medal match. And right now, that's what Spain obviously has in mind, trying to reel off a straight set win. That's what happened in the women's matches. Mexico scoring a 6-0 win over the United States, and Korea defeating China 6-0. So the victors so far have made quick work of it. One more match left on our card for this morning, and that's coming up in just a few moments. The men's team gold medal match, Mexico and Korea. Right now, Crispin Duenas, Hamilton Nguyen, and Brandon Schwereb with their work cut out for them, trying to get back into this match.
Once again, we see a team that is already qualified with a full team quota for Rio, which is Spain, while Canada is still working their way into that. And I'm sure that just being in this final, no matter, regardless of the result, it really gives them a boost for Antalya when they can have a chance to qualify for Rio.
Brandon Schwereb ranked 268th in the world. And disappointed in himself.
Yeah, he doesn't really look very relaxed. Maybe he just has to.
But the key is not getting down on yourself.
Yes, it's a game of confidence.
And that will build confidence for Hamilton Nguyen.
Hopefully. And they've got Crispin, a very experienced and strong shooter, to finish this first part of the set.
Crispin, of course, the bronze medalist at the World Championships in Belek back in 2013. Strong effort.
Strong, even though he held it for a little bit longer than usual, he was still able to hit the 10. Now 27 is not a bad start.
Alvarino lines it up. Locks in on the 9 ring.
Vamos, Miki, tranquilamente. Puedes. Saca muñeca. Eso. Muy bien. 9.
Just on the line. Pifare
Vamos, Juan.
is 23 years old and looking for his first World Cup medal.
Muy bien.
As is Juan Rodriguez.
Yes. Muy bien.
We take a look at that target face, and 3 9s, possibly a 10 in there. They could have a 1-point lead.
They could have. Juan, he doesn't have a World Cup medal yet, but he is a very good archer.
Brandon battling those nerves, holding it together, getting an 8. Better effort that time.
I have a feeling, Carl, that both Brandon and maybe Hamilton, they're leaving the line too early. They're not really finishing the shot. And that's something very hard to control sometimes.
Is it a concern about timing and making sure you're leaving enough time for your teammates?
Yes, because the time is pretty short and you got to get out of line. Your teammate needs to get in and prepare the shot. So you really want to do things as quick as possible. But that can be an enemy.
10.
With less than 10 seconds to go, Crispin Duenas releases and lands it in the 9 ring. So right now, Spain needs 26 points to take the set and move out to a 4-0 advantage. Miguel,
Muy bien, X.
you heard it from his coach, muy bien.
Muy bien, very good.
자, 미키, vamos. 9 izquierda, apunta, compensamos, tranquilo.
Coach telling him to
Come on.
aim a little bit off to the left,
Muñeca.
maybe 9 left.
Yeah.
Follows instructions.
Just perfect. Maybe that's where Juan needs to aim.
15 ahora.
Just follow the game plan.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Rodriguez
6, 5,
aiming for what could be the 4th consecutive
Muy
10.
bien, 9 ahora.
Instead, it's a little low, but in the 9 ring, and it's more than enough. 9 is more than enough for Spain to pick up that set, pick up 2 more set points.
Well, it seems we're on our way to seeing a third match being won by 6-0. Spain, they really found where to aim. They have found where they're standing, regarding the wind, while Canada is still battling a little bit.
And in each of the cases, in each of the matches that we've seen so far, it's been mental as much as anything else. Once these teams have gotten down, it's been hard for them to get themselves turned around mentally.
Well, archery is a very mental sport, very, very mental, because if we put these archers shooting, in a training session, relaxed, pretty much everyone's going to shoot very close scores. But the real difference comes in such environment. Like, it's a medal final with all the cameras.
How do you handle this pressure? Yeah.
Yeah, and it all comes to how you handle it. That's how you put it, and it's a battle of confidence. You know that you're losing, but you can still make it. If you believe it till the end, you can shoot 10s and you can put pressure on them. And just like in individual eliminations, this scenario in which the Spain guys find themselves, they're like so close to the win, but still, if Canada shoots very, very better, and then forces the shoot off, then the whole pressure goes to Spain because they were so close to the win, and now they're about to lose it. So it can be very tricky and very fun to watch.
So Canada still has hope, but they've got to come through here in this third set. Brandon Schwereth from Toronto, from the left side, and again, as you've said before, seemingly leaving that line pretty quick.
Yes.
Although that may be the way he normally shoots.
Can be.
Could be.
Could be.
But he's off that line very quickly after releasing the 7. Hamilton Nguyen picked up a team silver medal a year ago at the Arizona Cup. Nice effort.
Guys, you're left again.
Long hole, but seemed like a good shot, and there it was. Gold ring.
And Crispin Duenas, who also makes his home in Toronto, when he's not hanging out down in Florida, caught the line for a 10.
I really like Crispin's shot. It's also very simple, very straight, and it seems very firm and confident.
Marca punto de espalda. Muy bien.
Alvarino
9 derecha.
Picked
Muy
up
bien.
so much confidence and experience last year in Mexico City by winning that gold medal at the World Cup Finals. And now we really see the wind starting to almost gust.
Medio.
Yeah, that's why Miguel just threw his arm, because I think at the last moment the wind just blew and
Relajado.
maybe put his aim a little bit off.
Bien, 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 bien.
And it may have affected that shot right there by Pifare.
You see, now that the wind is catching up, it's really nobody's game.
So Rodriguez needs to come through with a 9
Esa.
for Spain to keep pace with Canada.
Correcto.
There may be some change in the wind right now as
No.
Canada leads it by 1.
Now Canada has a great opportunity to catch up with Spain and stay alive in this match and maybe force a shoot-off.
Question is, how can they handle the wind?
They just got to be confident. In the wind, pretty much all the time, what you got to do is just shoot quick. You choose a spot in the target to aim and you just go for it.
Good
And
shot, Brandon.
Well, that's got to make Brandon Schwerer feel really good.
yes, yes.
That was an important
Watch
shot
there.
for his team.
Whoa,
as
now
the
look at
gusts
that.
are really picking up right now. Hamilton Nguyen trying to focus in. You can see the limbs and the leaves on that tree behind him. A quick release, and oh, did he miss?
Maybe he did.
We'll widen out with the camera and try to find that arrow. Donde está?
Yes, I think it was a miss. Oh, so bad.
Trying to shoot into that wind, and it appears as though Hamilton Nguyen missed on that shot. An excellent effort by Crispin Dueñas.
Michael.
Indeed. Well, Hamilton was in such a difficult situation. You could see his bow arm moving so much, and it's just so hard to keep your focus and to keep confident for the shot.
Eso, punto de espalda.
And it came after a great effort by
Eso
Brandon
es.
Schwerer.
Bravo. 9
And right
izquierda.
now, basically, Spain just needs to hit that target. Almost anywhere on that target.
Vamos.
Just bring it home.
Medio.
The 10 right here would do it.
Eso es. Muy bien. 9
Almost
arriba.
got
Muy
it.
bien.
Almost academic.
Relajado. 20 ahora.
Only
So
1
the-
point to win. That's,
I think that's doable for
15.
Juan Rodriguez.
Cabeza.
let's see, only ends when the arrow hits the target.
Yes. Eso
Confident
es.
look on his face as he goes and seals the deal. Juan Rodriguez brings the bronze medal home for Spain. Strong team effort. And of course, Canada will have to always wonder what if the wind had not picked up. Because obviously that affected the shot by Hamilton Nguyen.
It did. I have a feeling that the wind blew stronger on Canada's turn, unfortunately. But, well, it's alternate shooting. It can happen. And still, it doesn't mean that they didn't have a good run, that they didn't have a good campaign here in Medellin. I think they definitely can remain confident and strong for the team quota in Antalya a couple of weeks from now.
Congratulations to the team holding those bows high here in Medellin, Colombia. Miguel Alvarino, Juan Rodriguez, and Miguel Angel Pifare. Ranging in age from 21 to 24, a young team, and a team that we may hear from an awful lot in Rio and in weeks and years to come. They're young enough if they stay together and shoot that way, especially adapting to the conditions, because we saw big gusts of wind pick up in that third set. And obviously it had impact on Spain, had more impact on Canada.
Yeah, Miguel, who will be shooting here in this venue later on today, also Wu Jiaxin from China, they should definitely use this experience, you know, to already start strong in their matches later on today and this afternoon.
Fresh target faces being applied.
Yeah, no, I think this result was very good for Miguel Pifare, because Spain, they have the quota for Rio Olympics, but I think their team's not decided yet. So, well, Juan Rodriguez and Miguel, they've been in the team for a while, and, well, they are kind of, you know, familiar faces and pretty much sure in the team. But Miki, he's kind of new.
Not a fixture yet.
Yeah, but he, you know, being in the team, winning this bronze medal here today, you know, in such a strong performance, that can really help him, you know, get to Rio.
That should work to his favor. So a lot of subplots going on here as well. Not just the medals being decided for the teams, but the fate of the individuals as well who are trying to get to Rio.
Yes, well, after all, everyone's fighting for a place in the Olympics.
And we'll talk about Rio with Bernardo In just a moment, we'll talk about his preparation for the Olympic Games coming up in August in Brazil, and talk about the preparations in his native land for the games that are coming up just weeks away. And obviously, we've talked about this earlier in the day. That makes the condensed schedule, which ends in Antalya, Turkey next month on Konyaaltı Beach, all the more important. I'm hearing upwards of 600 archers will be in Antalya trying to qualify.
I've heard 700.
700 now?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be even bigger than the World Championships in Copenhagen last year. Yes.
Wow. It's going to be a sight to see on Konyaaltı Beach, and we'll have that for you as well, live shot-by-shot coverage coming up on Archery TV about a month from now. And we'll get to Antalya, one of our all-time favorite places to go. And one of the, I know it's challenging for the archers, but we enjoy being on the beach.
Yes, and even though it's really good to be here with you, Carl, you know, commentating and everything, I hope that in Antalya I'll be at the shooting line trying to get a medal for Brazil.
No offense taken. And I always tell people I prefer that they be out there on the shooting line than sitting next to me. But if you can't be on the line, I'm glad that you're here.
Yes, yes. It's always a great fun. And, well, this is archery. We all love archery, and it's awesome to be able here to see some great shooting and to commentate on it.
By the way, you do a lot of writing on Facebook. You have a blog as well?
Yes, I do. I try to put as much content as I can, because, especially in Portuguese, because in Brazil we don't have a lot of material. You know, most of what we find on the internet is in English, so whenever I can put something in Portuguese, I think it's always good.
And how can people follow you?
Well, can just find me on Facebook, you know, Bernardo Oliveira, or Instagram or Twitter, and through my social media you can just check out everything that I'm doing.
You kids, you're all over the place.
We have to.
It is that age, isn't it? The age of social media. And it's now the time for Korea and Mexico in the gold medal match. Let's take a good look at the Korean team. And again, you're looking at Olympians right here. Kim Woo-jin teaming up with Koo Ban-chan and Lee Sung-yun. We talked about the women from Korea being ranked highly. Kim Woo-jin, #1 in the world. Koo Ban-chan, #5 in the world. And Lee Sung-yun, #3 in the world.
Not only that, they ranked really well in the qualifying round here, only split up by Brady Ellison in second place. But, you know, besides that, they were first, third, and fourth.
So Mexico has a battle on its hands, but Mexico had a good week, defeating Colombia 6-0, defeating the USA 5-4 in a shoot-off that was decided. It was 28-all in the shoot-off, but the nod went to Mexico. And then they knocked off a very tough team from Spain. You just watch what Spain is capable of doing. Mexico beat them 6-2. Juan Rene Serrano, surrounded by Older Zamora and Ernesto Boardman. We saw Ernesto in China 2 weeks ago in Shanghai, shooting in a medal match. He's 23 years old. His ranking jumped from 95th to 34th by getting to that bronze medal match.
It does help in the world ranking. I'm really looking forward to seeing Mexico shoot, because last year in Copenhagen they couldn't get any Olympic quota, and that was a huge upset for them. Now you can see that they're really working hard, you know, to get to Antalya in their best form so that they can qualify for Rio. Earlier this week they already got, you know, a single quota. And they just dominated. I think they took the first 3 places in the Olympic, you know, qualifying tournament, and they will come strong against Korea.
Totally different situations. Korea, they know they've got their guys in. They know they've got their team. This is practice for them. This is leading up to Rio. This is getting them honed and ready for that. Mexico, though, it's a different situation for them. Their backs are really kind of against the wall.
It is, it is. But I think it's not a reason for them to shoot not good scores.
How Korean to start off with a 10 like that. Kim Woo-jin, like getting out of bed and brushing his teeth. Just get up to the line and shoot a 10.
He does it as normal as breathing.
Koo Ban-chan, just a little low.
Yeah, Goo's release didn't seem very good. Maybe it came too early, the shot.
And here is Lee Sung-yun, who makes his home in Seoul, South Korea, and a world champion from 2013 on the beach in Belek. They have world champions, World Cup finalists, Olympians.
Well, they've got endless world titles, their team. That really gives you a lot of confidence.
Ernesto Boardman. Excellent shot by Ernesto.
Off to a good start. Boardman is quite a new face in the Mexican team, but he is shooting really well and proving that, you know, he's there to stay.
The man they call Lira, Older Zamora, 23 years of age. Nice start for him. Juan Rene Serrano, 12 World Cup medals on his resume.
Oh,
Seemed to hold for quite a while.
yes, and he didn't shoot it relaxed. His release was tense. Well, maybe just the first couple of shots, you know, a little bit nervous, but it'll fade away.
Here is Kim Woo-jin, who we will talk about after this set. That's a surprising score for him. He made a bold statement about the upcoming Olympic Games, and we'll talk about that after this set is completed. I want to get your thoughts on this. Kuban Chan trying to improve upon the 8. On his first shot, a little bit better effort. Got it in the gold rings.
Now Lee shoots a little bit different compared to his teammates. He draws it really slowly, as you can see, and I think this allows him to, you know, have his bow arm really set up, really firm in the place it should be, so that when he anchors, he just thinks about the release.
54 points. Not insurmountable, but obviously a very, very high benchmark. Ernesto, who missed out on a bronze medal in China 2 weeks ago. Boardman losing in the bronze medal match to Wei Chunheng from Chinese Taipei.
And the wind's catching up again. But still in the
Strong,
goal.
solid shot though.
Yeah, Aldair Lira, as you said, is also a new face in the team. It's his first year in the senior squad, but he was the highest ranking Mexican here.
So the set will go to Korea, regardless of this effort right now by Juan Rene Serrano. Mexico will come up 3 points short as Korea wins the set 54-51, and they will take a 2-0 lead in this match. So far, the first 3 team matches all been decided by scores of 6-0. They've been clean sweeps by Spain, by Korea, and Mexico. Now Korea trying to do the same thing in the men's team gold medal match. Want to get back to Kim Woo-jin. He was quoted as saying, "I will beat Im," meaning Im Dong-hyun, "I will beat Im's record at the Olympics in Rio." Thought that was a little bit, I like the confidence, but I was a little bit surprised to hear him say that. Were you?
Well, to hear him say that, yeah, that can be quite a surprise. But if he does it, it'll be no surprise at all.
Right.
Yes.
He's capable of doing that, yes.
Yeah, I'm always amazed at how easily he can shoot scores above 690, which is a great mark. You know, the qualifying round here in Medellin, it had a little bit of wind in the second half, and still he shot 695. It's just 2 points below Brady's 697, which was the third highest score in history in Shanghai, and 4 points behind Im's score.
Right.
So, yeah, I think when you speak it out loud, it can help you have more confidence.
That was the surprising part, yeah. And I can see where, yeah, you want to set a goal for yourself, and you're not afraid to say that, and you feel confident enough in yourself to go out and say that publicly. But at the same time, I was a little bit surprised to hear it.
Yes, and we got to know that I'm sure he's really hungry for these games, because it was quite an upset that he wasn't in the team for London. He was like world champion, world record holder, won the World Cup and everything, and he wasn't in the Olympic team. So,
to his credit, he's just kept working and made himself the great archer that he is. #1 in the world, Kim Woo-jin. We'll see him momentarily, but first, Ernesto Boardman. Flying high, a little too high for his liking. Oder Zamora, averaging 9 points per arrow, and gets that 9, hits his average. Now a good look at Juan Rene Serrano. Won a team gold medal here in Medellin, the first year we had a stage here in Colombia back in 2013. Stabs that 8 ring.
Let's see how Korea performs in the wind. It's also blowing strong for them. Kim Woo-jin in a very typical Korean form.
The wind does not seem to affect him very much, and the wind has picked up. It's a little bit past noon here in Medellin, and it is high noon. The sun straight above us as Kuban Chan finds the line. Just does catch that line for a 10. Very slow, very deliberate.
Very calm and confident.
And what a great release. Stood there, followed through.
Yes, everything very clean, very smooth. That's how it should be.
So a commanding lead for Korea here in the second set. They're up by 5. Boardman, the bullet that connects with the 9 line.
Igual, brazo izquierda, controla, apunta normal, izquierda, nada más. Más.
Lira drifts out left.
Ya no más.
So it's left to 1, René Serrano.
Ahí Turquía, importante. Control, más izquierda.
And Juan René cannot come up with an answer either.
Yeah, I think the coach is telling them to aim off, but maybe it's not really necessary.
Últimas series, controlamos.
Mr. Kim connects.
Yeah, when you see Kim Woo-jin shooting fast like this, you can know it's a 10 for sure. Like, he's a guy that when he's up in the pressure a little bit, he takes a little bit longer. But when he's relaxed and he shoots fast like that, then he's just doing his game, and you'd better step out of the way.
Korea piling it on right now. Kuban Chan with another 10.
I think they're going to shoot their 4th 59 in this competition.
Lee Sung-yeon can give them 59 points. Lee lets it fly. Instead, though, just outside.
But enough to win.
And the 2 set points go to Korea, and Korea well on its way to a sweep right now, leading 4-0 here in the men's team gold medal match. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Hyundai, of course, proud sponsor of World Archery. New thinking, new possibilities, drive Hyundai. Hats off to Sport Toto. One goal, let the sport grow. Fila, the official uniform partner of World Archery. Our thanks to Fila for their great support. And Longines, which awards the prize for precision. With Longines, elegance is an attitude. Hoyt, of course, the official bow partner, and Easton, the official arrow partner of World Archery. Getting back to Longines, we saw them present the prize for precision yesterday to Sarah Lopez, who was amazing with 3 gold medals here in her native land on her home soil yesterday. Won the women's team gold medal, won the mixed team gold medal, and then in a match I think people will remember for a long time to come, an outstanding match with Crystal Gauben that went right down to the shoot-off. Sarah was able to come away with a shot just a little bit closer to the center.
Yes, it's so good when archers can give their home crowd such a, such an excitement, such a spectacle. This is great for our sport, to bring the people to, attract the attention and make people that don't know archery, want to look there and say, hey, what's going on? Like, why is everyone so excited? And it's just amazing.
You watched that match yesterday. If you go back and watch that on worldarchery.org, you'll see what we're talking about in case you did not get a chance to catch it live. It was, they stood toe-to-toe, Gauben and Lopez. Crystal had a chance to win it on the final shot and shot low, didn't put the match away. It went to the shoot-off, and Sarah was able to come up with a 10 that was just a little bit better.
Still, Sarah Lopez is the name to beat in the compound women, isn't she?
She shot in qualifying as high as any men's score in qualifying. And I believe she had 62 tens during the week. I'll have to look up that number just to see, but it would be interesting to see how, in a matchup against one of the best male archers,
Would be nice.
to see how the best female compound archer would fare. I think she would more than hold her own. I really do.
I'd like to see that. And now we see, I think the wind switched direction. Unfortunately, Zamora shot a 5 to the left. And that's so tricky. We're seeing really tough conditions here today.
And we're also starting to see the sun be a factor as well as it hits that target face. Look, half the target's in the shade, half of it is in the bright sunlight.
Yes, yes. It might seem something like not so important, but when you're aiming, it can make a huge difference and can make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that does affect the shot.
I know when I was talking with Steve Anderson of the United States yesterday, another brilliant shot back-to-back tens by Korea, as they seem intent on a sweep right here. But talking with Steve Anderson, he was talking about how it's really almost better when you've got an overcast day, because then it's flat lighting.
It's just perfect, yes.
Doesn't seem to be affecting Korea, though, does it?
Yeah, they don't really matter. They don't really care about it.
Sunlight, wind.
Yeah, another huge factor is when, for example, a cloud comes, before the sun, and then there's this momentary shade. It also can change the sight a lot.
Juan René. They switched up the lineup a little bit there to try to, I think, get things jump-started.
Yes.
Try to find something to get them going.
But he's not pleased with his shot and with his performance.
Zamora.
I think Mexico had only 110 in the entire match. That's so bad.
And it came on their first shot of the match. The very first shot was a 10 by Ernesto Boardman.
Yeah, this final really doesn't reflect what the Mexicans were shooting, because, for example, they beat the United States. Exactly the same lineup of London 2012 in a shoot-off, shooting really strong scores. I think now they just got to keep their head up and keep confident for Antalya.
And that was a shoot-off that was decided by the score of 28-all. It's just that they had one arrow that was a little bit closer, and that was the determining factor.
Yes, it was an axe. The Koreans are going to start breaking some knocks over there.
So this should do it right here. In workmanlike fashion, Korea puts it in the hands, the very capable hands, of Lee Sung-yun.
Just bringing home.
And he closes the deal.
And
not his strongest shot of the day, but it's more than enough. In this case, 8 is enough. And it is another straight set victory for Korea. All of the medal matches this morning, all 4 of them decided by the score of 6-0. Straight set victories for each of the victors. And this time it is the men from Korea. And we'll see more of the Koreans coming up later on this afternoon. But as you look at the scorecard for Korea, a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of their shots in the 10 ring. Only 1 in the 10 ring for Mexico.
In this wind, that's really impressive. It's amazing to see how can they remain so confident and so strong in the wind. Well, they're the powerhouse of the sport. After all, we can expect nothing less than that.
I'm sure everybody trains in the wind. Everybody has to prepare for all types of conditions, whether it's wind or it's rain. But obviously the Koreans, and again, it goes back to what we've said so many times during the course of our broadcast this morning, the mental aspect of that. How do you handle that? And obviously the Koreans have found a way to not only train themselves physically, but train themselves mentally to handle almost any condition that they confront.
Well, I think, their team trials, by itself already prepares them for that. Or maybe doesn't prepare, it just selects, the one who's fit most.
It's kind of like Darwin, the survival of the fittest.
Yes, so who's in the team is definitely the best archer, and he is in condition to be shooting, strong shots like we're seeing right here, right now. And yeah, as simple as that. If a Korean's in the team, then you can know that he is well prepared for pretty much anything that might come up.
Great shot of the skyline. I believe this is the Las Palmas area of Medellin, or maybe just off of Las Palmas Boulevard. But the towers and the skyscrapers everywhere you look as they climb the hillsides here of the Andes Mountains in Medellin, Colombia, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And a city that's being discovered. Last year, I believe they had about a 15% rise in the number of visitors coming. And I know I flew down here with a gentleman who was coming here with some of his friends, and they were visiting for the first time. And they'd been to Las Vegas, they'd been other places. Now they wanted to see Medellin.
They're in Medellin.
And I'm sure they had a great time here this week.
Yes, the city has, investing so much in tourism and to, reinventing itself and, for bringing people in, and they're being successful into doing this.
And you talked about the warmth of the people too, and you make your home in South America, but something special about Colombia really is. The people down here are just so welcoming. I know my family came down last year. They went out into the countryside, went to visit one of the coffee plantations, and could not have gotten a more warm reception.
Yes, well, we all love coming here, because of the people. There are a lot of good factors and everything, but the people, they make a lot of this good experience. A lot of people say that Brazilians are friendly, Brazilians are warm, but
I think you're pretty nice, yeah.
Thank you. But I gotta say that I think the Colombians, they really beat us by far in this, and I think they really like Brazilians. Like whenever we say that we're from Brazil, they're like, "Whoa, that's so nice," and they get so excited about it, and we just love being here.
Well, maybe you need to bring some of the Colombians over to Brazil and have them be there for the Olympic Games, and nobody will be the wiser. They'll figure that they're Brazilians, and everybody will come away and think, boy, everybody in Brazil is so nice.
So nice, yeah.
Although everybody I've met from Brazil has been equally welcoming and very, very nice. And it's just been wonderful coming to South America these 4 years. Unfortunately, this is our last time coming here to Medellin. Next year, this stage will shift to Salt Lake City, and that will be the stage in the Americas, so to speak. And looking forward to Salt Lake City. By the way, I'm curious, that hat the gentleman's wearing, the red hat. Yes, with that red cap on, that is the cap of the St. Louis Cardinals, my favorite baseball team, which I grew up idolizing as a young boy in St. Louis. And here I see in Medellin, Colombia, somebody wearing a St. Louis Cardinals cap. So I'm excited.
I bet it does bring you some good memories.
Oh, it does. It does. Not from this season, but...
Oh, it's so bad that I can't talk to you about baseball. I know nothing about it.
You know what? I was sad to see it leave the Olympic Games, because I think more and more it's becoming more of a global game. Obviously, it's not played everywhere around the world, but hopefully one day it will be back in the games.
Oh, it's very popular in Central Americas, isn't it?
Yes, very popular. Latin America, it's popular in Korea.
Yes,
obviously,
yes.
Japan.
I remember when we were in Ogden for a World Cup, Ogden, which is, by the way, very close to Salt Lake City. We went to a baseball match of the Ogden Raptors.
The Ogden Raptors,
Ogden
very good.
Raptors, yes.
You have a good memory.
And I remember they were playing against the Grand Junction Rockies. Yes, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, but I gotta say I didn't really have a good time because I knew nothing about the rules.
You knew nothing about the game.
Yeah, they were just throwing the ball, and I was like, well.
You're probably more of a cricket man.
Cricket? Seriously?
Okay, football.
Soccer, maybe.
Soccer.
Yeah. But I do like football.
And we do enjoy the medal ceremonies everywhere we go. It's always great to see the medal ceremonies because you get a feel for the culture of the country that you're in. And obviously, the Colombians very proud, and they show that with their medal presentations here. They present the medals. They also present the sombreros. And in past years, there's also been a nice bag of coffee that's gone along with the medals and the sombreros.
The famous Colombian coffee.
Which is still picked by hand by many, many people up in the hillsides, mostly south of Medellin.
I think if it's done by machines, it's not the same, right?
Maria Emma Gaviria. Our hats off to her, the World Archery Vice President, who has done so much work along with her team of volunteers and her staff. It is a major undertaking to stage one of these World Cup events so that archers like Aida Roman, Gabriela Bayardo, and Alejandra Valencia can climb that podium and accept their bronze medals. So we take our hats off once again to the local organizing committee, which has done another outstanding job here this year in 2016 in Medellin.
Yes, yes. You know, every year that passes, we realize that these events, they're, you know, growing bigger, growing more professional, and also the effort to make them possible gets bigger. And it's just so nice to see it all being done here in such a good way.
This venue did not exist a week ago, and as of this time tomorrow, it will not exist again. It'll be the grounds of the Museum of Modern Art, but right now, it's a world-class venue for World Cup archery.
It's the home of archery. Now, the sombreros are not, you know, not too much weird for the Mexicans, right? They're quite used to it, I think.
Quite used to that, yes.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to see athletes from other nations and other countries with the sombrero or whatever. Might be the native garb that they're presented with. It's a good cultural exchange, which is obviously what the Olympics is all about as well.
It is. It's what sports all about. It's I really love being in competitions and being surrounded by people from all over the world, but it doesn't matter because in some way we all speak the same language, which is archery.
Sure.
And for the Chinese team, I think this performance might also be very important on their way to Rio. I mean, for them as individuals, silver medal, you know, so close to the games might count very well for them into being the team.
You can learn, it's been said, as much in defeat as you can in victory, but of course the Koreans would just as soon win everything that they possibly can, and they seem to do that, and they did it again today with their 3 Olympians. Chung Hee-jin, Jamie Sun, and Ki Bo-bae. We will see them in Rio. We'll also see them, we might see them in Antalya. We'll have to wait and see whether they decide to use that as a tune-up or not.
I'm pretty much sure they will be in Antalya. I think I've read somewhere in social media or something, their archery
planning?
association, yeah, they have Antalya in their plans.
Straight set winners.
Yeah, and Antalya is pretty much 2 months before the Olympics. So after that, you still have a lot of time to prepare, to settle down. And
go back and get some rest at home.
Yes, yes.
Before having to get ready to get on that jet and fly off to Rio de Janeiro.
And for them, it's quite a long trip all the way around the world.
But it will be worthwhile for any and all archers and all athletes, for that matter, who are able to reach the Olympic Games in Rio. The Korean national anthem being played in honor of Ki Bo-bae, Jamie Sun, and Chung Hee-jin, the winners of the women's team gold medal here at stage 2 of the 2016 Hyundai Archery World Cup Tour. So gold goes to Korea, silver to China, and bronze to Mexico. And try as they might, they're not all going to fit on top of that podium for that picture.
They won't.
Much as they want to, Bernardo.
Yes, it's always a good picture, you know, to gather everyone in the highest step of the podium, but not possible this time.
So we congratulate those ladies, and as we reset and get set for the presentation of the medal to the men, want to take an opportunity to talk to you a little bit about Rio and the preparation. We see so much in the media. How are things going? Give me your perspective from somebody who was born, raised, grew up, makes his home in Brazil. Brazil will be ready.
Yes, the preparations seem to me that they're going really well. The Olympic Village is pretty much ready. I think, 99% ready. It'll be delivered to the International Olympic Committee.
And it's going to be near the water, you were telling me?
Yes, the village will have its own beach for the athletes and coaches and officials and everything. So
bring your sunscreen.
Yeah, whoever's going to be there, will be able to enjoy some very good Brazilian beach. And I think almost all the facilities are also ready or, pretty much in that way. And I've heard that the Sambodrome, where the archery competition will take place, the preparations have started already. Building the stands and making all look great for the archers.
And there'll be great support. I know there was great support in London. Great crowds turned out in London, and I hope the same is true in Rio. And I have no reason to believe that it won't be.
Well, you can bet. You can bet. I remember because I was in London, and I remember whenever there was a British athlete competing, it felt like the stands would come down and everything would, just collapse. And I'm sure it'll be, if not like this in Rio, it'll be even stronger.
You got to prepare for that.
Yes, we are preparing. And because Brazilians are so passionate, so it doesn't matter who's there competing, we'll be cheering until the end.
I have noticed that about you Brazilians. You are a bit passionate, yes.
Yes.
About your sport and about life.
I think in entire Latin America we're like this. We're very emotional and very passionate. So above all, I think it'll be a great party over there.
For anybody who is coming to Rio, what should they try to eat? What's the one native food or dish that you would recommend that somebody who's never been to Brazil before?
Well, first place, barbecue.
Oh, barbecue.
Yeah, you should eat the Brazilian churrasco, as we say.
Okay.
You should definitely try that. Go to a churrascaria, which is a restaurant that serves our barbecue. You should definitely try that.
You heard it from Bernardo.
And
expert on archery and food critic.
You've heard it from a vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
But you should also try cheese puffs, which is kind of a cheese bread that we have, rice and beans, all the fruits that we have there in Brazil, so many juices and nuts. The Brazilian cuisine is really rich, and I think all the foreigners I've heard that tried it, they just loved it. So
nobody will go hungry, we'll put it that way.
Yes, for sure.
Ernesto Boardman, along with Juan Rene Serrano, and Older Zamora accepting their silver medals. Would be remiss if we didn't recognize Miguel Alvarino, Juan Rodriguez, and Miguel Angel Befare, the bronze medalist, who just got their bronze medals moments ago. And now, the gentleman from Korea. So Korea takes both team gold medals, which is not shocking, not a big surprise. Things held true to form as Kupan Chan, along with Kim Woo Jin, whom we'll see later today, and Lee Sung Yun teamed up and shot the way you expect them to shoot.
Definitely. Lee Sung Yun, it was quite, it's one of those situations that all that is left for you to do is laugh, because he was eliminated by Colin Klimacek. Colin didn't miss the 10 in their match. It was like, well, you just open your arms and say, well, okay, what should I do?
But today, it was Korea's moment in the sun. Korea, Mexico, and Spain. The three teams that got to the podium here in Medellin, Colombia, worked their way through the fields, got through qualifying, got through eliminations, got into the medal matches, and it is Korea standing atop the podium, set against that beautiful backdrop of the Andes Mountains here in Medellin, Colombia.
3 teams, 2 of them already qualified for the games as a team. Only Mexico is not qualified yet. And I say it again, not yet. I really bet in them into getting a quota for their team.
Let me get your honest appraisal of this, Bernardo. Can anybody really challenge this Korean team once they get to Brazil?
That's a tough question. Well, maybe United States, maybe Taipei, Spain. Well, we're talking about Olympic Games. Anything can happen.
So we'll see in 2 months. Well, it's time for us to take a break. We'll be back in just about 2 hours with the mixed team matches as well as the individual bronze and gold medal matches. We'll see some great archers. Tanya Ting, Marcos de Almeida from Brazil, Kim Woo-jin, Chae Sun, Brady Ellison, and Miguel Alvarino. They'll all be back on stage at stage 2 of the 2016 Hyundai Archery World Cup Tour, coming to you live from the Museum of Modern Art in Medellin, Colombia. For my partner in crime, my dear friend Bernardo Oliveira from Brazil. And again, how do we follow you?
And Facebook, Bernardo Oliveira, just look for my name, you can find it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Look for Bernardo on Facebook. I'm Carl Archie. I'm not much on Facebook, but you can follow me here in 2 hours. For now, we say so long for just a little while. We'll see you again soon for more live shot-by-shot coverage on World Archery TV. Obrigado.
Muito obrigado. Thank you so much, Carl. Always great to be here. Thanks to everyone who was with us in this broadcast today.
Adios, amigos and amigas. We'll be back in 2 hours with more live coverage on Archery TV. For now, so long from Medellin, Colombia.